Hey, this is Elizabeth with Mad for Macrame. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet these hanging baskets. For supplies, you'll need a 4-inch wooden base, 2 crochet hooks, a 7 and a 9mm, some scissors, and for cord, I'm using 5mm braided from Bobbiny. And I have these smaller rolls available on my shop. They're 50 meters. It's perfect, the perfect amount for this project, and I have them available in several different colors. You can see the difference in size. So this is a 50-meter skein, and then this eucalyptus here, this is a 100-meter skein. So you have two options. I'll link those in the description. To begin round 1, create a loop with your cord, leaving that tail about 8 inches long. And then for the first couple rounds, I like to use a smaller crochet hook. I'm using a 7mm. That just makes it a little easier to attach the cord. So insert your hook in any hole around the base, take that loop, add it to your hook, and then pull that loop through. I like to hold my working cord, and then the tail, I keep it secure on the back of the base with my middle finger, just so it doesn't slip through. For this first round, we're going to make a whole round of slip stitches. So insert your hook in the next hole, yarn over, and then pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one on your hook. Again, you insert your hook in the next hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one on your hook. You'll continue making slip stitches all the way around the base until you get to the last hole. On this last hole, we actually want to use the tail. So when you insert your hook, instead of yarning over with your working cord, grab the tail. And because we're using the tail, it's a little hard to yarn over with that tail. It's hard to pull through the hole if you try to yarn over. So I like to just place my hook on top of that cord and then pull it through. Then pull that cord through the loop on your hook. And you can continue pulling that tail all the way through. To close up this round, we need to create an invisible close or another V, like a fake stitch. So underneath this first V we created, insert your hook from back to front, underneath that V, and then pull that tail through. To finish making that V, the cord needs to go through the center of the last stitch we made. So find the center of that V, and on the back side, insert your hook through that hole, and that will bring it through the center of that last stitch. And then pull your tail through. For round 2, you want to find where that tail is sticking out. So it's coming out of this hole right here. And then on the front side, or the side that has our slip stitches, you want to find that hole, and we're going to insert our hook directly in the hole behind the slip stitch. With your working cord, yarn over, pull up a loop, stretch that loop up a bit, and to hold this in place we need to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through. For this round, we're going to make single crochets, and we're going to insert our hook behind these slip stitches directly into the hole on the base. So in the next hole, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, stretching that loop up, Now you have 2 loops on your hook, so yarn over and pull through both. Again, remember to insert your hook behind the slip stitch and then make that single crochet. So pull up a loop, yarn over, and then pull through both. You'll continue making those single crochets all the way around the base, and I'll meet you back on the last hole. On the last single crochet, you want to insert your hook just like normal and pull up a loop. But before you yarn over and pull through both with your working cord, you want to switch to using that starting tail again. So we're going to finish this round using that tail. With the tail, yarn over and pull through both. Then you can continue pulling that cord all the way through. We have these stitches that run around the outside of the basket, these horizontal V's. And then we also have V's that are vertical underneath. To make the invisible close, we're going to use those horizontal V's, or that first outer V, to make that fake stitch. So insert your hook underneath that first horizontal V and then pull the tail through from front to back. Now the cord needs to go through the center of the last stitch we made. So flip your piece over, and then to insert our hook through the center of that stitch, make sure that you go underneath this little back loop too. That will bring the hook through the center of that last V. Now pull your tail through. For round 3, we want to find where that tail is sticking out, just like before. So it's coming out of this stitch right here. And on the front side, for this round, we're going to make waistcoat stitches. We're going to use those vertical V's. So not the V's on the outside, not these stitches, but we're going to use the vertical V's that are underneath. So here's a V, here's the center, here's the next V, and so on. We're going to insert our hook through the center of those vertical V's. So to start, find where that tail is coming out. It's coming out right here, and that's going to bring it to the center of this V, this first vertical V. So insert your hook through the center of that V, and to begin, we're going to pull up a loop and chain 1, just like the last round. You know you're in the right spot when you see that that tail is sticking out on the back side. So yarn over, pull up a loop, stretch that loop up, and then chain 1. Now for our waistcoat stitches. They're just like single crochets. You just want to insert your hook through the center of the vertical V instead. So on this next V, we're going to insert our hook through the center. And on the back side, you'll see that there's this little loop and then 2 pieces of cord, one on the left and one on the right. That's how we know we're in the center. I'm going to try to stitch around my short little tail here. We pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, and then yarn over and pull through both, just like a single crochet. Again, you insert your hook through the center of the next V, yarn over, pull up a loop, Yarn over and pull through both. I'm going to finish up the round of waistcoat stitches and then I'll meet you back and show you how to join. After you complete round 3, you can see that the basket starts to turn up. We actually want to push these sides down. The slip stitches always go on the bottom. You want to see your V's on the outside of the basket and those slip stitches on the bottom. This is when I like to change to using my larger hook too. So I'm going to switch to a 9mm. For rounds 4 through 6, we're going to start each round by making the invisible join. This will make your rounds nice and seamless. So go ahead and pull your hook out, making this last loop a little bit bigger. And underneath that first horizontal V, right here, you want to insert your hook from the back to the front and then pull that loop through. So add that loop to your hook and then pull it underneath that stitch. You want to make sure that your loop is big enough for your hook to go through, not too tight around the top. Now directly below the loop, on these side V's here, below the loop and to the right, this is the V where you want to begin. You want to insert your hook through the center of this V. So push your hook through. I like to check the inside to make sure I'm in the center of that stitch. Now yarn over and pull up a loop. I like to stretch this loop up. Add that second loop on your hook. Yarn over and then pull through both loops. The invisible join counts as a stitch. It makes the first V on the next round. Now we're going to begin our waistcoat stitches. So through the center of this next V, you want to insert your hook right here. I like to check and make sure that I'm in the center of that stitch. Now yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through both loops. You'll do that for each V around the base. So here's our next one. We insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through both. I'm going to finish up a few more rounds of waistcoat stitches. You make that invisible join first, and then continue with the waistcoat stitches. And I did want to mention that you can create as many rounds as you would like to get the basket as tall as you want. So I'll meet you back and show you how to add the handle. Okay, this is the height that I'm looking for. And now we're ready to add our handle. First, we need to join the round, and we're going to make that invisible join again. So we pull that loop through, and now directly below the loop and to the right, insert your hook to the center of this V, yarn over, pull up a loop, stretch that loop to the top, add the second loop on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through both. I don't like to add the handle right next to my invisible join, so I'm going to make 4 waistcoat stitches. So here's 1, and we need 3 more. We have our join and 4 waistcoat stitches. Now I'm making a pretty short handle, so to do that I want to make a chain of 4. To make a chain, you yarn over, and then pull through. That's one. Here's two. And now three and four. These V's on the chain, that's what you're counting, so we have 4 of them. That'll make our handle nice and short. We need to attach this chain, so we have our 4th waistcoat stitch. We're going to skip 5 and 6 and attach on 7. And to attach the chain, just go back into making your waistcoat stitches. So you should have 2 V's that you skip. Now you can just finish up the round, making your waistcoat stitches. For the last round, we're going to start off by making that invisible join again. Then make 4 waistcoat stitches to get to the handle. To make this handle a little more heavy duty, we're going to place single crochets around this chain. I'm going to make 4 single crochets. You can make 5 or 6. It's kind of whatever you decide to do. To make a single crochet, you're going to insert your hook underneath the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and then pull through both. I'm going to make 3 more. So again, we insert our hook underneath the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. We need 2 more. And the last one. Once your handle is completed and covered, then you just go back into making your waistcoat stitches. After finishing up those stitches, now we can go ahead and clip our cord. I like to leave the tail about 6 inches long. And pull your hook out, pulling that cord all the way through. Now make an invisible close. So underneath this top V, you want to insert your hook from the back, underneath that top stitch, and then pull that tail through. To finish off that V, it needs to go through the center of the last stitch. So on the inside of your basket, it needs to go through the center of that V. You want to find that little back loop. So make sure that you insert your hook underneath that little back loop, bringing it through the center of that stitch. Now pull your tail through. You may need to make a few adjustments just so your V's are the same size. Then simply weave in the ends and clip off any excess cord. And our hanging basket is finished. I made this one a little bit taller. I wanted to make sure that my crochet hooks would fit and stand inside. These are super functional. You can hang them, use them for different materials. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today, and thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel for more fun crochet projects. And I will see you next time. Bye!